Outcast: New Beginning by Appeal Studios, which is coming out very quickly, March 15th. So this game took the place of a different game that we were going to talk about tonight, and I'm kind of regretting that decision to ask Dave to switch the game, to be honest.
Buckle up, boys. It's gonna get rough.
It is going to get rough, especially because I don't normally talk about games, too many games, in a negative fashion. Um, but this one, so I played the demo. It's on Steam right now. Um, and first things first, I thought the reason why I wanted to switch games is so we were going from a first person shooter. I'm like, it doesn't look all that different than what normally is out there. And I saw the trailer to this game and I was like, oh, it's bright. It looks fun. It's got like action, like all this good stuff. And then I downloaded the demo and I was like, okay, this is kind of head scratching. What am I playing? I don't like this. And so let's kind of pull up the trailer. It's an open world action adventure game. And really, that's about all I have to say about it. It's kind of generic, to be honest, and that's kind of what I felt like when I was playing the game.
Yeah, so guys, if you're just listening, like we talked about, and you know what, like Adam said, it's very bright and vibrant, and the world looks really, really cool. And this traversal system of like, I don't know if you have like a jetpack or
Yeah.
something like that, but I mean that looks really, really cool. And you're getting a look at the main character right now, who is an ex-Navy SEAL.
Cutter Slade is his name.
Yeah, Cutter Slade, and he is awoken by was it aliens?
They're not aliens. They're like Corbs cards, something like that. It's a weird
Something.
name for like a all-knowing being, I guess.
Yeah, and you've been awoken, and you're on this planet that's been like stripped of its resources, and the island has been like taken over, and the inhabitants of the island have been like enslaved by these robots. Which I mean is kind of a
Yeah, it's a cool concept, and this is a follow-up, so another sequel to an original game called The Outcast, and which was a really beloved game back then. Like a lot of people loved it. It came out in 1999 is when this game came out originally.
That's kind of like the one thing that I was like confused about. I'm like, yeah, this game came out for PC in 25 years ago. Like, why now?
Exactly, and the game has a cult following. A lot of people did enjoy it, but I think the issue with this game was, or so going into the demo a little bit, and the story's not groundbreaking. You know what I mean? Like, oh, you're playing as Cutter Slade, who's been resurrected to save the world again. Like, that's not anything crazy new. Like, a lot of games have done that. Where it kind of falls short for me, and like we both said, that the world looks really good. Like in the game, the world is pretty bright. It's fun to traverse through. The game itself does not play well. I had a lot of performance issues. I know it's just a demo, and I will say they don't really have time to fix it because it's right around the corner in a couple weeks. But so the performance issues was kind of off-putting. The traversal you're talking about. So you have a jetpack, and you can glide along the ground with your jetpack. You can't really go higher than the ground, but if you're higher than the ground, you glide instead. Like you have a glider, which that didn't make sense to me. Why can I have my jetpack at full speed on the ground, but as soon as I get to the air, I have to glide? And the gliding mechanic was like, I couldn't figure it out. It just seemed really janky. It's got air dashes where you can dodge and air dash.
The jetpack only works under 10 feet, bro.
I guess that's kind of what it felt like. But you can glide over water and not cause any splashes. So I don't know. Or you can use your jetpack on water. So, but other than that, like the enemies felt really easy playing against them. The gunplay mechanics really weren't all that exciting. It's kind of boring, to be honest. And it felt like the buttons, and maybe it's because I just wasn't getting used to it. It felt so. It was hard to get used to, but also felt like they didn't flow well. Like the button mechanics,
stiff.
Yeah, they were stiff. It was hard to kind of piece together things. Like, and then I would always try reloading, but the reloading button, it was like a cooldown. Like instead of reloading, it was just a cooldown, which has been done in games. But for me, like I'm trying to reload and I hit square and it's a melee attack. I'm like, okay. And then the melee attack was really slow. It just felt really janky. And like I said, I hate being the guy that crap on games, but I don't think this is a game that's gonna be one that I play fully because of how bad my experience was with the demo. And like I've had a lot of good experience with a lot of demos I've played, but this one was not a good experience for me, to be honest.
I mean, I don't want to be the guy that craps on games either, but like, usually I look at these demos or these like, I look at the trailers and stuff like that, and I find I can like cherry pick, even if I'm not like interested in the game as a gamer, right? I can cherry pick aspects of like, ooh, that looks interesting. That looks unique. This looks blah, blah, blah. I think you hit the nail on the head. Generic. It just I just was, like, trying to grasp at anything. I'm like, "Okay, like, the world looks bright, but, like, also, like, I've seen that. I've seen it be like, the world, I've seen it before." I'm like, "Alright, let's see, like, what the storyline is." Oh, it's been we've been taken over by robots, like, okay, like, I've seen that. Like, what type of combat style is this? Like, okay, it's a dodging shooter type of, like, like, alright, I've seen, like, everything that I've it's just like I've seen everything that's in this game before. It's not giving me anything. You know what I mean? So,
And I think the problem is they don't do it well. That's why it's such a big deal. It's like the game's not done well. And I think that's where it's kind of off-putting to me is like the game wants to be this like big shooting game, but the mechanics are just they fall short. They don't seem all that fun. They don't play very fun. And the fact that this is a $60 game is insane to me. Yeah. This is what you're getting for $60. And I know like the new price for like big games is $70, but this is not a $60 game. Like maybe 40, maybe 30, but I would not spend $60 on this game. And that's not to say like there's the fan base of the first one, but to me like I don't know how you can bring in new people with this. I don't see I don't want to call it crap because I know like there's a lot of things that go into development, but this subpar game. Like nothing new, nothing great about it. And that's why I don't think it's one I'm gonna play. So just like we said, we don't like to crap on games very much, but this is one that you might want to avoid for a while, at least until maybe some updates come or they really fix a lot of the performance issues. But I don't know if it's a game to play.
and I think one of the major things that they've really kind of put all in all of their marketing materials and all of their kind of like previews and stuff like that is the fact that all of these weapons are very, very, very customizable, which in essence sounds really cool. But to me, that says we are going to put out a game that is going to just be flooded with microtransactions, and we are going to try to get you $3 at a time with a new skin for your favorite weapon, with a dangly little skull charm for your stock and all that stuff. So
I don't think that's the case. I don't think they're gonna do that. I think it's a lot of things like in terms of like different buffs and nerfs and things that you can put onto the gun, like different effects that they'll have. Kind of like Suicide Squad, where like you change this in the gun, shoots this way, it causes fire. I think that's what it's gonna be. I mean, Suicide Squad has microtransactions for the cosmetics, but not so much the actual effects of the game, like of the guns.
I could be wrong, but it feels like a game that's going to try to cash in on it.
Maybe, but I didn't get that sense when I was playing the game. And the game also, so kind of going into a little bit more of the mechanics, just aside from that, the weapons, like Dave said, they'll be able to be created any way you want to kind of have the way you want to play with different effects of how you use the weapons. There's different level upgrades and powers that you'll get to upgrade and progress as you play. Powers can be unlocked by liberating different temples and things like that. So maybe the more you play, it will feel better with the different upgrades. But I don't know, the base core mechanics I was not very happy with, and it's not one I think I'm gonna play.
Like we said, we never really want to crap on games, but we want to give honest feedback, and we don't want to be those guys. But sorry, guys, it just the game looks super generic. It doesn't look very fun. And like Adam said, it's coming out when March 15th.
March 15th. So they don't really have time to fix much.
I will bet anything that if you just wait for May, like wait till May 1st, you'll get this game for 60% off, guaranteed.
The spring sale for Steam, it'll be really cheap too. So
Let it pass you by for a month or two here and get it at a very, very, very steep discount.